We are delighted to bring you the success story of India's largest morning nutrition initiative, the Sri Sathya Sai Annapoorna Trust. What began as a simple and compassionate idea to ensure that no child goes to school hungry has grown into an extraordinary movement, reaching more than 10 million children every school day across 150,000 government schools with more than 2 billion meals served and still counting. Today, we have the opportunity to look beyond these impressive numbers and understand how this remarkable initiative was built, the operational model behind its scale, the partnerships and innovations that have made it possible, and its vision for the future. We are very fortunate to have with us Mr. Anand Kadali, National Executive Officer of Annapoorna Trust, who is closely involved in this journey. I hope this conversation inspires each of us with what is possible when compassion, collaboration, and commitment come together for the well being of children. Anand, it is our pleasure today to have you with us. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Let me
Thank
start by
uh,
taking you back to the beginning. How did this simple idea of providing morning nutrition to school children began, and what was the vision behind it?
Thank you, Shivaram, for giving us an opportunity to share our work here in India. And thanks, Raji, for joining this call as well. Um, Actually, I was kind of working in a corporate organization when this idea to start the nutrition program came up. My my sincere prayers to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Saiji, who has been the direction, who has been the light, and who has been the person who started this program uh, in 2012. So when we started this program, we were too sure what exactly we are kind of looking at, because we wanted to do something for children in the morning, but we were not too sure where to start this program. But we took a leap of faith in Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and his grace and guidance helped us to go into a remote village in a place called Kengeri in South Bangalore, and that's when where we started this breakfast program. Initially, it was like going in the morning at 6 o'clock, going with some cooked breakfast and serving the children over there in the school, and after that, from there going to my office, which is about 40 kilometers away, and again come back to home. So every day I used to travel about 80 to 100 kilometers. But there is a lot of satisfaction which I felt, because every day I was going to this village and serving the children. And in the process, I could see a lot of transformation which was happening more than in anyone else. It was more in me. I could see a lot of children who are coming to the place for having breakfast. They definitely deserve something in the morning, and most of the children don't have something to eat in the morning, and they go to school with an empty stomach. So the purpose of doing something relevant to the society started with this breakfast program. And personally, for me, also a lot of satisfaction that I am able to be a part of the nutrition program for those children. And just not me, many of the friends who joined me later on. The first 3 years has been more like a testing and pilot journey for me. I had so many other people joining me in this mission, and we had about 20 solid team members who actually started being a part of this program. And 2012, 2013, 2014, we continuously did this breakfast program in the vicinity of Kengeri. We covered about 4 to 5 schools, and later on we got some more groups added, and we started doing in Bangalore East also. So by 2015 November, we were doing in about 10 schools, and we were addressing this morning breakfast for about approximately 2000 children. So this is how we started, Shivaram. And post that, there was a trust which was formed, but I will speak a bit more about it, once you ask me the next question. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Anand, thank you. We already have midday meal, right? Especially in Karnataka, in Bangalore region, midday meal is already there. Why breakfast? What motivated to give the breakfast?
See, very important question, and I have two answers for it. One,
Hmm.
I felt any children, technically and typically, we think that children, any which ways, have something in the morning before they come to school, especially in the rural villages. I felt, it's like any other family, people will feed the children and go to the school later on. But what actually we found is that a lot of these village people are contract laborers, which means the parents used to go for, especially being a city like Bangalore, a lot of these contract laborers have to start early as 6 o'clock, which means they don't prepare anything for the children. And they just say to the child that, anyways, you get a lunch in the school, so you straight away go to school. So, which means that the point of having something as a food in the morning itself is not there in their structure. Their day
Oh,
starts
okay.
with midday meals, which starts at about 12 o'clock. So a child is never thinking that, I have to do, or I should have something in the morning which will keep me, healthy and, stronger to listen to the subjects. And this has been told by the teachers himself, because they come to the school. Many of them don't even stand for the assembly, because they come very late. And then on top of it, when they are standing for assembly, they are very weak, and, they are actually not attentive to the classes and all. So, whatever assumption we had that children have breakfast and coming to school is kind of not so correct. Almost 50-60%, they don't have anything. I'm not saying 90%. I would say very categorically 50% of them don't have anything in the morning and they come to school. So, our intent is, okay, these children are not coming to, they're coming to school without any breakfast. So, why don't we start this program? So, even for that matter, government of Karnataka also, for that reason only, they started this Kshirabhagya milk powder program. So when I was a part of this breakfast program which we started, by then they had this milk powder program also, which means the government knows that children come to school, and we should give something for them the moment they come to school in the morning. And that's how this milk powder scheme started. And it became a very big success in Karnataka. In fact, one of the states to start this morning drink powder or morning milk powder program is Karnataka. So, and we being based in Bangalore, we started the breakfast program like poha, upma, khichdi, etc. We started giving it. And then if you go and see, when we started expanding to other states, it's the same state of affairs, except for cities and for tier B or tier C cities and some, kind of affluent regions which are there within that particular state. Many of the rural hinterlands, children don't have anything in the morning. They just come in the morning straight to the school and they consume the midday meals.
So
And that's
basically,
the
what you're saying is that the most of these children, especially the whose parents are daily wage workers and such, so they don't cook any food in the morning in their home and they just come to the school. Wow, that
So
is,
there are
yeah,
two things you can do.
yeah,
What happens is, either they have the previous day's food, which is
okay,
like you will have rice, which is mixed with the starch and ganji, they say, okay. And next day morning, if they have curd, they will mix it up and have the food. That could be one option. Second option is they'll just have nothing. They just come to school without anything. And in
wow,
many
that is,
cases,
yeah, that is really, yeah, that is
and
really, yeah,
I used to ask, what did you have in the morning? They used to say they had tea. In Telangana, if you look at it, tea is a common drink which they have it in the morning. They say chai. So they had chai and they came to school. What can, a tea help a child to grow? Okay. So there is a habit of having something in the morning, and this chai is the habit which the parents have. They prepare it for children, and that's it. After there is nothing. For you and me, we have options, right? We have four options. You can have bread and jam, or you can have South Indian food, or you can have North Indian food, or, for whatever reason you would like to opt for something different like Kellogg's, chocos, milk, everything you have at your place in your dining table. But for them, there's
yeah.
no other option just to go to school and eat whatever is fed by the school during the midday meals.
Yeah, not only that, in our case, we would demand, right? I don't like
Absolutely.
this food today, and then I want another food, right? Even with their children, they will sometimes
Yeah.
overfed, and they are not feeling hungry and such, right? So this is
Yeah,
really touching, and it's hard to imagine, right? There's many of the children, they go school without eating anything and cannot
in fact,
imagine, focusing in the school.
my always suggestion or even kind of making a policy for the Indian government is you have to make the children from the private schools to actually go to the government schools. Okay, they have to go and they do a lot of projects, right? So they should take a nearby school as a government project as a project, and they should initiate doing a breakfast program and feed the children there, and that's when they will find the value of whatever is kept for them on the dining table. Because unless they serve the children and they realize what is given to them and what is not given to these children over there in the government schools, there is nothing which you can achieve. So practically these all private school children should go to government schools to see it what's happening on the real sense.
So your program is mainly focused on government schools currently?
Largely, yes, largely on the government schools, yes. In
Okay.
fact, I just wanted to share a screen where I can probably give you a bit of the history to the work which has been done. In fact, just see this slide. This is how it started. You were asking me, right? I'm just taking it a bit forward. 2012, when we started the breakfast program with 50 children, and 2015, after the good potential pilot and testing which we did, we started our trust. We formed a trust, Sri Satya Sai Annapoorna Trust, and then we started with about 90 schools by providing milk and banana. That's the most easiest and convenient for us at that time. And slowly we started initiating to cover the states of Karnataka. We introduced health drinks, and slowly we covered up about 2.5 lakh children in 2018. So likewise in 2022, 2023, there has been an expansion. So, but I'll explain it to you as you ask me the next question. So, because there's a lot more to cover about the Sai Share nutrition powder.
Sure. So initially you started off with the serving poha, upma, idli, and all this, right? So
Right.
then did you now transition to, after that you transition to nutritional drink only?
Yeah. So what we did is, we realized that, we need to be very convenient to whatever nutrition program a particular state wants. And most of the times we realize that none of the states are willing to provide any cooked breakfast in the morning, because preparing cooked breakfast in the morning like poha, khichdi, roti, or whatever requires almost 2 hours or 1 hour of preparation. And then you need to come to school very early at 7 o'clock to prepare it. And many of the cooks, it's challenging for them to come that early and prepare something for the children. So for whatever reason, some places we started doing the cook breakfast, and later on we realized it's not helping because cooks are not coming to prepare it. Because we work only on decentralized model. We don't have centralized kitchens where we prepare something in the mega kitchen and go and deliver it to the schools. We wanted to ensure the local communities are also involved. So we give the ingredients. We give rice, dal, you give oil, and all the other things which are required for preparing the breakfast. But you will have to go through those challenges. So we realized, okay, let us make that as one model. Second model is to give milk and banana, most and easiest and convenient model. We just need to boil the milk and give the banana. Then after that, we realized that Karnataka government is anyways giving the milk powder. So we wanted to enhance the milk powder, and that's how we brought in protein mixes. We introduced micronutrient supplements, and we started working, giving them a health mix called Sai Sure. It has been branded as Sai Sure. And then that became a huge success because children started enjoying the drink. Earlier they were actually drinking a plain milk which has been prepared with the milk powder. But imagine if you add something very tasty to it, like chocolate, and you're also adding some micronutrients, it becomes a tastier drink. So with that, as a pilot, we started expanding, and you could see on the screen over here, the footprint has increased. We started serving in north, south, west, east, everywhere. We started doing pilots and all. So this is just to tell you how we expanded ourselves in the last close to 12 years time. Also, when we formed the trust in 2015, which I mentioned to you, the trustees, I am actually showing the
Yeah,
slide
we'll
over
come to
here.
that, Anand. I have one question on the previous one.
Sure.
If you can go back to the slide there or even before that. Now you transitioned from the actual breakfast to nutritional drink, right? Now, are
Correct.
they not missing now in this case? Of course, you increase the quantity of children or the number of children you're serving. That's a great thing. But just nutritional drink, will it serve the purpose as originally started there? They're coming to school hungry.
Yeah, a very valid question, Shivram. So I will explain it in 3 points. See, hunger is hunger, Shivram. Somewhere we have to give something for the child to contain his hunger for 2 hours because anyway the midday meals is given. Now I had a challenge. We had a challenge which is preparation challenge. People were not coming to prepare the cooked breakfast. Okay, so wherever it's possible, we were able to do the cooked breakfast. But there is so much of requirement everywhere. The moment we started, every other school was calling and saying. In fact, other state officials are also calling and asking us, why don't you start something for our children also? And I say, can we give cook breakfast? They're saying, no, it's not possible because cooks don't come early morning. Then I asked, what else is the best I can do for, I mean, or the trust can do? And they said, why don't you give a liquid drink? At least give a drink, milk plus, you know, some micronutrient health mix. That's when we slightly changed our scope from just only focusing on cooked breakfast to expanding ourselves to giving at least a milk plus a micronutrient drink because in fact I had tasted on myself, experimented on myself. If I take a milk and if I add ragi health mix powder, which is about 20 grams, and have it, I was able to contain my hunger for 3 hours, which means I was able to have the drink, a 200 ml drink, and for 3 hours I was actually not feeling hungry. So I tested the same thing with some set of children who are coming to school, and I just gave them only the ragi health drink with the milk powder. And I just asked them, when was the next time you are feeling hungry? So when we started this program, giving them this health drink at 9 o'clock, they were actually feeling hungry at 1 o'clock only. And some of them were feeling hungry at 12 o'clock. So our idea of containing their hunger for the 3 hours is achieved because my intent is to ensure the child is not hungry for the 3 hours. I'm not saying, I'm trying to address the hunger for the entire day because the government is anyways having the midday meals in place. So with this as an objective to contain the hunger for 2 to 3 hours, the only other best option is to give them milk plus health mix. And I found it was working. And we spoke to government schools. They were also happy. Preparation time is just only 22 to 25 minutes. Cooks were anyways coming by that time to prepare for the children and give it to the children the moment they come to school. Now, if it is working and if I'm able to address this hunger for 2 hours, then I can actually go and replicate this in every other state. And every other state also came forward to keep this model running. And that's how we expanded. So you can see from 2018 till 2019, just before the COVID, we moved from 1 lakh children to 5 lakh children or 100,000 children to 500,000 children. And then, of course, COVID hit and we could not expand more. But once the COVID, after the COVID era, we again restarted and we could expand this health drink powder program faster than the cook breakfast program.
Okay, it's like more like a porridge, you can say. Is that right?
It's a porridge. It's a porridge. It's a thick porridge.
Hmm.
It's kind of
Nutritional.
helping them to stomachs filled and then keep themselves attentive for next 2.5 hours. That's it. If I'm able to address this part and see why I'm saying this is a huge program and it requires everyone's support, right? And please understand that we were running it at our own cost. We were not getting government support till 2023. We didn't get support from any government. So 2015 till 2023, almost for 8 years. So you need to figure out your own ways of raising funds and do this program on your own, right? So we need to look for the best optimized solution and then start the program and expand the program. Only in 2023, we had Telangana state who actually came forward to take this model across the entire state of Telangana, followed by Karnataka, and then followed by Puducherry and Assam.
Is there any analysis or study done before we introduce this mix or of porridge or the nutritional drink, Anand, that
See,
say that it really helps in terms of brain development or other development of the child?
See, for a food kind of a thing, for a hunger kind of a thing,
Hmm.
when we started the program, three things happened. One is children were coming on time to school. Okay, now that cannot be measured. I all I can measure is the attendance. I can see the attendance of children who are coming before the breakfast was initiated and after the breakfast was initiated, before and after. Second is there's a punctuality which is maintained because we used to say if you need the breakfast, you have to come by 9 o'clock. And children were coming on time and there was a punctuality into that part. The second point in this case is that they were coming to school even before the breakfast is served, which means if it is 9 o'clock, they were landing up there at the school by 8:45, which means there is definitely an interest for them to have some breakfast. Third point is that teachers were more motivated because earlier they were telling, sir, they were all kind of not even standing for the assembly. And there was a motivation for us is because now they have something in their stomach and it is easier for me to explain the concepts. So these are certain measurable things which I can tell from the quantitative data which I get it. Now, from the health parameter side, are we making a difference? Yes, of course, we're making a difference because the only way I can explain it to you is in three ways. Child, if you go and see a child's BMI index, body mass index, okay, if it was something which is X, and after introducing the breakfast there is an significant impact in that, apart from the midday meals which is served to the children by the government. Second, their height and weight started increasing. Okay, now again, I'm not saying it's only because of our program their height and weight is increased. Our program also added value to the midday meals which is provided by the government. And the third and most important is we have seen this from teachers. They themselves were saying that, earlier children were thin. They were looking very thin and we could see their body is so weak. But, after introducing this breakfast pre program, they could see there is a brightness in their face. The skin was never, the skin was bright. People were smiling, children were smiling. And these are certain things which we can't measure. So finally, what we did is after doing all this program for 10 years, we understood that this question will come to us. So we got a study done by National Institute of Nutrition, a well-known organization. They did a study and they gave a good report about our work, which is now circulated to all the state governments about the impact of a morning nutrition program for growing school-going children.
Okay, thank you, Anand. So there's a very good information. Especially, I think your mix is also made up of organic ragi as one of the ingredient. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a slide for that. These are this. I wanted to just quickly show this slide to you. The ragi, which is used for preparing the health drink, is procured directly from the farmers, and the farmers use their farmlands, and they try to avoid putting any chemicals into that soil, and we push them to use the organic way of producing the the grains which are required. In this case, the farmers, we have about close to 3,000 farmers who are giving us this produce, which they convert it to powder. And after it is converted into a powder, we have a nutraceutical facility which is right near our ashram, Satya Sai Grama Ashram. It's in Muddenali, Chikbalapur, very near to Bangalore Airport. And we have a state-of-the-art facility where the powder comes to the facility, and then there are sections where it is fortified with micronutrients. And then, it's a kind of, I would say, there is no human intervention except for the fifth floor where they have to cut open the bags. All through the packing, everything is automized and the product comes out. And once the product, which is fortified with the micronutrients, comes out, it is distributed either through our own vehicles or we have government nominated vehicles which come and pick up the stocks. So very systematic way of looking at things. We wanted to set up similar nutraceutical facilities in other states, and the current facility which is set up is more like a model which we are showcasing it to many of the government officials who come to our place to understand how we operate and how we are scaling up. And just to tell you, this particular facility is not just for school children between first standard to 10th standard. It can also produce nutrition related products for Anganwadi children between 3 to 6 years. It can also address adolescent girls. It can also address patients who are having tuberculosis, or it can even address any other kind of formulation which is required. So it's like you can start from all the way from 3 months, sorry, not 3 months, from 1 month, from 1 year onwards till about 60 years or 65 years. We have various models which can be produced in this nutraceutical facility. And as I mentioned, while we always wanted to give them full-fledged cooked breakfast, we have to transition ourselves to a health drink kind of a thing so that we can scale faster and make this happen in various places.
Yeah, thank you, Anand. I think before going to another question, I want to just ask these questions because audience may be curious to know as well. So at present, how many children you serve, and how many schools, and how many states and countries?
Uh, Today we serve about close to about 10 million children,
Wow.
approximately. We
Okay.
are serving 25
10
states
million.
and
Just to be clear, it's 10 plus more than 10 million children you serve
ah,
every
yeah.
day on a daily basis.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
See, what
Okay.
happens when I say, on a daily basis, the proposal to do this program is on a daily basis. There are about 3 to 4 states where they do it daily basis. There are some states where they do it alternate days because after we starting this nutrition program, there are some schemes which got added by the central government, and they have started introducing egg and also chickies to the children. Now we have three options. You have a health drink from Annapoorna Trust, then you have eggs, and then you also have chickies, and you have something else also available. So now government has ensured that child gets every day. For me, the intent is the child should get this morning nutrition every day. So three
Sure.
days we do the health drink. Another 3 days is given by the government. So child is getting daily, but my contribution is only for 3 days in some states. For example, in Karnataka, we do all the 5 days. In Telangana, we do 3 days because other 3 days is given Chikki and some other program which government runs. In Assam, we do 3 days. In Puducherry, we do all the 5 days. So ultimately, the child is getting everyday morning something to drink or eat before he attends to the classes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it makes
And this
sense,
is for
but
the 10 million.
right. But yeah, it makes sense perfectly. And from, even if you, is a large number, 10 million is a big, very big number. Even if you subtract some of the states,
Correct.
they provide only 3 days and such, but still it's a huge number. Yeah, which are the states you provide this one?
Correct.
Is it throughout the India, all the states touched, or?
So, we do this slide, which is showcased over here,
Yeah,
is what we are covering. If you look at South, we are strong in Karnataka, Telangana, Puducherry.
right.
Andhra and Tamil Nadu has started its own breakfast scheme. By the way, just to tell you, this is very interesting point to share that the whole intent of starting the breakfast scheme, which was started in 2012, of course, under the guidance of Madhusudan Saiji, when we started, we were not too sure, what we are ending up. Today, if you look at it, after doing it in almost 25 states and 4 union territories, there are 4 states which they have started doing full-fledged breakfast in their own scheme. For example, Tamil Nadu was one such state where they actually introduced breakfast, proper breakfast. They give khichdi on one
Okay.
day, upma on the other day. It's proper breakfast. So the idea of giving breakfast has been introduced, and we became a catalyst. We were just only a catalyst. See, this is an idea which has to be introduced. So Tamil Nadu picked it up. The second state which actually is now doing is Gujarat. I went and saw in Gujarat also they were doing breakfast scheme. Of course, Karnataka was doing the milk powder, which is Akshir Bhagya milk powder program. So that is also another state. And we're also now seeing Puducherry, they're giving toned milk to the children the moment they come to school. So breakfast as an important item is now getting a very important attention in the policy makers also. And I'm seeing
Okay.
definitely will spread across various states.
Sure, sure. So
Um,
from your number here, if I can look at it, that I think you cover almost all the states. Maybe I have to search and find out which state is not covered. Like from north to south and west to east, a lot of
yeah.
states. It's only the, I think, question is that government has to reach you to make sure that they want, or they allow you to reach you at least. I know it's very hard to reach even the high-end ministers and such to even propose, because sometimes it may be hard to reach them. So that is also there. I'll cover that. Will be my next question: how are you able to actually meet all these people and actually impress, some when as a small organization and going there and things. But yeah, so in the states where like they are providing breakfast, full-fledged breakfast, are you still serving their nutrition, or they are skipping those?
Again, valid question, Shivram. In such places, we are not doing it. For example, if you take Tamil Nadu, they're doing full-fledged breakfast. See, when you found the objective is achieved, your role
Yeah,
becomes you don't need to be there. The whole idea is the government has to take over the program. Okay. So Tamil Nadu started doing it. Gujarat started doing it. So there's no point for me to go and do something which is duplication of the existing program. Yes, but what we did is we became a catalyst. We were going and knocking the doors and telling, look, breakfast is more important for a child. We make it a habit, or sorry, make it a policy that breakfast is given to the children, and that kind of is now slowly getting into the mindsets of the government officials at various states. And I'm sure we are making a impact without programs,
yeah,
pilot programs, taking us as an example and initiating. And of course, various NGOs are also now coming forward. A lot of NGOs are now taken up this breakfast as a another initiative from their end.
sure, sure. Actually, before going to Raju, I know you have some question, it looks like. And now the country-wise. So we have India and any other countries also this program is now available?
Um, at this point of time, we just started applying for starting off in Sri Lanka. We
Okay.
started in a small way,
Hmm.
but starting independently and getting the attention of the government and doing it with the government support is important, because I can start independently in any country, but the intent is you want the government to notice this. So Sri Lanka is the first government where we started now approaching the government and telling them this is a nutrition program. They have accepted us, and we might shortly start a pilot over there. Then we have Malawi, which is in Africa. That's been started
Yeah.
in a small way for about 500 children. That's all going on. And then we have, applied for starting up this program in Cambodia also. We are in discussions with them. And then a lot of African countries, we have our volunteers who are now asking us to send samples so that we can start this nutrition health powder program in those countries also. So I wouldn't say we've been very impactful, but we are making our own small inroads to start this program in other countries. Otherwise, at this time, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, and Malawi is where we are
In
present
Nigeria also we have
in a
some
small.
extent.
Nigeria, we are still, waiting for, again, as I mentioned, we
Okay.
need to wait for the permissions from the government to
Sure.
come.
Fiji, I
See,
think another one is
starting is
Fiji.
not, yes, yes, see, starting is not a problem,
Yeah.
Shivram, but
Sure.
starting it with the support or even having government uh, behind the scenes is very important. Or,
Correct.
government should be knowing there's a program of this sort. The whole intent is that only, right? We don't want to do independently. We want to ensure the government is aware of this program. So that kind of takes some time, to get the government support to do it.
Absolutely, because you need a support as well. Volunteers are needed. It's a huge undertaking. It is not possible for one small group or one person and like individuals. It needs a good amount of people resource and also monetary support and moral support and everything. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
In
Yeah,
fact, I would
Raji.
suggest
Yeah.
it should be the model anywhere, Shivram. Whatever
Hmm.
good work we are doing it or any other NGO is doing it, it should always be brought to the notice of the policymakers, the government officials. and most importantly, the local communities, because doing it independently is one way to look at a small set of villages. But if you want to create an impact, a multiplier effect, then you should inform the government people and all the other stakeholders to see that their contribution is also there.
Sure, sure. Rajiv had a question? No.
So in what are the some of the ways that people, organizations, or um, local groups can come forward and help you?
A valid question again, Rajiv. For
Hmm.
that, just run through one slide which
Sure.
has been prepared as corporate partners.
Hmm.
I'll just look at this one slide.
Sure.
Uh, I kept it at the last, but this is what is a slide. See,
Okay.
you need for activity the corporate partners also to join you, okay? Because
Mhm.
in India there is a concept called as corporate social responsibility, and they're supposed to, kind of make the employees be a part of a social work, okay?
Correct.
And they should engage employee volunteering and all. So you need three things for it. One, of course, you need the corporate partners CSR law to be implemented by the corporate. So that makes our life easy. So we go and
Mhm.
approach them to support programs. And I'm just showing you probably a small set of partners who are right now associated with us. Second,
Okay.
you need is concept called as employee volunteering, where we call the employees from the companies to come and participate in the food serving or visit to the schools and talk to the children. And the third and most important thing is that not only these two things of participation and also support from the corporate CSRs, what is more important is in the process, when they go to the school, when they interact with the children, it leads to another two or three things. Means they go to the school and they see the blackboard is not good, or the benches are not good, or the computer room is not good, or the kitchen is not good. So somebody has this idea, okay, I think I should probably help these people in improving the classroom, class blackboard, or the benches, or the computer room. So you are giving an opportunity for them to think larger and then contribute back to the system. So you only took this excuse and asking them to come to serve the food, but they can become, change makers, right? They can adopt the school itself, or they
Okay.
can probably get some extra computers and put it in the computer room. They can even come back some other time and train them on computer, or they can even train their interesting subject like science or social. So this is exactly what we also want. Our intent of doing this program is not to talk about 10 million children or 20 million children. Yes, that's definitely a part of it, but ideation of making the people to get involved is more important. That's why we call ourselves as a people's movement. We don't call ourselves as a food movement. We call ourselves as a people's movement. Everyone should come forward to be a part of this program. And just to tell you, Rajiv,
Mhm.
sorry, we have every school has a cook, right? So for us, that cook is a volunteer because we don't pay the cook. They prepare it and they serve the children. So for me, he or she is a volunteer. So we have 150,000 volunteers right available for us to prepare something for the child and give it. That's why we call ourselves as a volunteering organization, a volunteer driven organization. You will be surprised to know we have only 45 employees in Annapurna Trust who are part of serving 10 million children.
Wow. Okay.
45 staff members are only there with us. And everything happens behind the scenes with the support of the cooks, teachers, education officers, then the vehicles which they come and pick up the stocks with the government support. This is what is called as optimization. How you can optimize with the support of everyone at the locality, at the government side, is what we try to imbibe. And that's why this one slide, which
Mhm.
speaks of support from the governments is very important. For example, if you see in Karnataka, they provide milk powder, they provide sugar, they provide transport facility, they leverage the cooks, and we are using the school facilities, kitchen facilities. What we are giving fortified ragi, which is enhancing the drink which is given by the government. and also having the micronutrients to address the hidden hunger. Same is the case with Telangana.
It's like a
Telangana
partnership with government.
with the government, but Telangana also we use the kitchens of their
Mhm.
schools. We use the cooks who are there at the schools, and then we provide the supplies, and the Telangana government pays 50% as their support to this program. Same is the case with Assam also. We are using again their kitchens. Cooks are trained how to prepare. So you're able to scale faster. And pan India also, all across we do the same thing. So participation of the local cooks, teachers, everything matters for us. In the process, we are able to scale it faster.
And this also brings me to another question that, let's say, 5 years, 10 years from now, what do you see this organization doing across the world?
Uh, See, right now, everyone has a vision, right? We want to
Mhm.
have a vision in place, and exactly. So you look at this slide over here,
Yeah.
Sarkara, Samaja, Sanstha. So typically, we follow these three. We want the government to get engaged with us. We want the local society members to get engaged, which is your cooks and teachers to get engaged. And then you
Okay.
have the or organizations like us who are there. Today, the Sanstha, the organization is driving the whole thing. You can
O-
see Annapoorna is driving the whole thing. It is going and taking the government support. Then it is going and talking to the cooks and ensuring that this program is happening. It's more like, I would say, a push program. We are trying to push it. Get this
Mhm.
program done. We want you to think about this as a very important aspect of child's health. It's a push program.
Right.
And later on, as we progress, like as I mentioned in the case of Tamil Nadu or Gujarat, we pushed it in such a way that
Mhm.
finally we are not seen, which is good for us. For example, you
Okay.
don't find Annapurna Trust in Tamil Nadu or Gujarat. Who are
Okay.
doing it? Sarkar and Samaja, they are taking care of it. So if you 5 years down the line, where do you find yourself? Our still work is to push ourselves to new terrains, new places. May not be India, could be outside of India. Start
Okay.
doing this program outside of India. And the second thing which we are trying to, which we will probably look at, or we would probably be looked as, we would be looked as consulting agencies. I would rather
Oh,
say we are having expertise, right? We have an expertise in micronutrient supplements. We have the know-how of how to prepare a nutraceutical facility, how we
okay.
can nutrition products, how much
So,
land is required, what is the logistic requirement.
right.
All this we will become the consulting for them, and we will introduce that. Of course, this has all been again driven by the government only in the
Hmm.
process.
Right. So you'll be bringing in the expertise, the frameworks, the methodology, roadmap to scale this to larger areas in the
Yeah.
world. So that's really good. Yep.
Yeah, and if you just see this slide, if you
Mhm.
ask me, okay, where do you want to find yourself,
Right.
this year at least we can add another 5 million children, 26,
Wow.
27. Right now we're at 2 million, so we want to see if we can add another 5 million to this number. 27, 28. We have calculatively, we have understood that every state has its own requirement. It takes some time to, expand ourselves. So we kept 20 million for 27, 28. 29, 30, which is about a couple of years from now, we are seeing if we can scale up to 50 million children and finally do about 80 million children in about 5 to 6 years' time. Now, why 80 million children also? There is a reason behind it. In
Hmm.
India, if you look at it, 160 million children who go to government schools. Now we are taking 50% of it. We have just thought, okay, at least 50% of these children. Why don't we target them? Okay, so that's why we have taken a target of 80 million children. So 2026 to 2031, which is exactly 5 years from now, our objective is to cover the entire 80 million children. Now, whether you are going to cover that 80 million children or the government will take up that 80 million children is something which we are looking at how to stitch this whole thing. Okay, you go
Okay.
and you initiate this program, and finally, government says, "Thank you very much. You gave a good idea. We will do it on our own." Perfectly okay for us because we are only being an ideation to them, and they look at us as only giving those 3, 4 pilot programs which we do, and they finally look at as okay, these organizations have done a good job. Now let us do it on our own. If that happens, I think our goal is achieved.
Yeah. Thank you, Anand. Now, just to summarize, I think any government or any organization or any country, if they want to introduce this program, they can approach you, right?
Yes,
And
Yeah,
they can then you'll be able to then help in that direction. Is that
right.
right?
correct.
Um,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Now, one question that, see, you started from small, at that time, very small organization, right? How you are able to approach all the officials and the ministers? You know, it's very hard to reach them, right? And especially when you're a small organization, they will not even listen to you. Then nobody will even allow you to an audience. How you are able to break through?
Valid
Or
question,
if you have
but
any personal
Shivram,
story, you can feel free to share as well. Okay. Yeah.
uh, Shivram, honestly speaking, if you ask me, right, you know, this is again a push program. Please, let's make it a point. It's like when you are always trying to push an idea, okay, it takes its own time because, there is a system in place. If you go to any of the government official, I am telling you, we are working at least in a corporate for 10 hours. They work for 17 hours. There are some people who work for 14 hours. They start their day all very early morning at 9 o'clock and they go back home at about maybe night 9 o'clock again. I've seen it myself. They're so
Sure.
busy. There are so many things which they have to do with the current ecosystem itself. And sometimes I feel that they are doing much more harder work than what we are doing. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that it happens everywhere. I've seen
Sure.
places where it's a challenging job for us when you put this idea, sir. Why don't you put this part also into your agenda? That's when the program problem starts because they already have so many things to cover, and then they need to add this part. But you have to push this idea. You got to be strong enough. You need to have patience. You need to see to it that you have been heard, you have been seen. So all this is part of our life, Shivram. Just imagine if you have to feed your own two children at home, how much you will ensure that they are fed. So you'll do everything to your best to ensure that children are fed, they are given proper shelter, they have been taken care well, right? Same is the case. So you have to go back, talk to the government officials, get their time. They might sometimes give us time. On time, they might meet us, or we might need to wait for 2 or 3 hours because they might be in some other meeting. And it is genuine. They genuinely have meetings happening. And for us to get an appointment, a meeting time, and convincing them itself is a cycle. For Telangana, if you look at it, it took about almost 5 years for us to actually get that final MOU signed off. For Karnataka,
Wow.
it took almost 8 years for us to get a MOU signed off. And I'm not denying that, they don't want us to do it. They want us to do it, but it takes time. Okay. Everything comes with its own, you know, pros and cons. And, initially they wanted us to start on our own. We started on our own, but we could not scale. In Karnataka, at the max, we could do for not more than maybe roughly about 100,000 children because that's where our capacities are. We could generate that much funds. And then slowly, then we did for 500,000 children, and we told to Karnataka government, we can't expand anything beyond this. You have about almost 5 million children. We can do only 500,000 children. And that's when government came forward and they started funding the program. So for them to fund the program also, they have to see how we deliver. What kind of promises are we making? Are we delivering it? Is the child happy with this kind of a product? Is there an impact which is created with this product? And mind you, brother, just to tell you, to get an MOU signed up, you need to have whole structure in place. You need to have from the minister all the way, from the chief minister all the way to education minister, then the principal secretary, then the commissioner, then the midday meal in charge, then the whole plethora of all the district education officers, block education officers, mandal education officers, cluster heads, CRPs, then the headmasters. You understand the whole system, has to be educated
Yes.
about the program which we do. So it takes time. So you need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just keep uh, confident that this will work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the reason I was asking the question. It is a very Herculean task. That not just you are ready, but the other side has to be ready to listen to you as well. Now, there are two questions. One is, of course, price wise. Another is the ingredient wise, right? And also how the children like it. So my first question in that is, so what is this nutritional drinks made of? I think it is more than one nutritional type drink you have.
Yeah, so if you look at one slide which again I wanted to share, this is just
Sure.
prepared for you guys so that you have a bit of clarity on what I'm trying to showcase. This is for
Sure.
Karnataka. Look at it, it's for about 55 lakh children, or about 5.5 million children. Please look at the number. Okay, the cost for this product is 8 rupees. Okay, which is like giving fortified ragi, which is produced by our Annapurna Trust through our nutraceutical facility SciSure, and then 18 grams of milk powder and 5 grams of sugar is given by the government. So government actually almost spends 90% of the money. It's just that we are adding micronutrient portion into that child's drink so that he gets those extra
Yeah,
important
Anand,
minerals.
yeah, let me go step by step. First, let's focus on what is this nutritional drink made of ingredient wise.
Okay, fine. So then in that case, technically the drink which is prepared,
Yeah,
I may not have a slide for that, but I'll explain it to you.
sure, that's fine.
What ex- Yeah. So what exactly is this drink made all about is typically ragi, which is more like a superfood. It's a millet-based drink, which
Sure.
is generally indigenous, food which is available for everyone. And millet is one of the most important, food. It's a superfood for us. So what we do is we take the ragi powder, we mix it with the micronutrients into it, and then we provide that to the child. Now, these micronutrients, we have almost 12 vitamins and 12 minerals kind of a thing. And if you take the minerals kind of a thing, you have sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, zinc, copper, selenium. Okay, these are certain things which are from the mineral side of it, which are required. Similarly, on the vitamin side, you have vitamin B1, B2, B3, B4, B6, B12. These are certain things which are vitamins which are required for the child. So you have these vitamins and then you have minerals. It's coming into one single powder which is mixed with all of these things, and that is what has been served to the child. You can see over here, you can see the child is actually holding a plate. You know why? Because it's pretty hot. When they have the ragi, it's pretty hot. They can't consume it. So when you put it in a plate, it becomes slightly easy to drink, and we always prefer them to eat when it is hot, drink when it is hot, because it gives a good taste also. So you can see over here, it has a very important thing which is called as calcium. Okay, the ragi itself by default has calcium on it, which improves your bone, things and all. Likewise, there are many other things which are improved with this kind of a drink.
So these micronutrients you explained, basically minerals and vitamins, right? So these are introduced as a natural form. Or,
We actually get it from from the farmers. We only get the, what do you say, the gray powder. The powder
Hmm.
comes. The facility, the nutraceutical facility which has, this has the option to mix the other micronutrients into it. So
Sure, I
you
got
just
it.
only
But
get a,
these micronutrient nutrients itself, are they derived
uh,
from a natural food or is it actually a
yes, yes. It's derived from
sorry?
a natural food. It is
Hmm.
derived from a natural. Okay, these are extracted from the natural food. There are vendors who actually
Hmm.
get it from the various other food items, and then we go and purchase that particular item powder, and we mix it into the system.
Like, can I ask one question? Can you give us an example of, you say iron and vitamin A, for instance, right? So, or how these two are derived, or how you get these two?
Valid question, Shivram. See, if you look from the standpoint of the iron part of it, which you say,
Hmm.
right? Or if you look at, from the vitamin A part of it, which you were asked for,
Yeah.
uh, technically, the powder which is made is only the ragi. We add turmeric, we add defetted soya, we
Hmm.
add, vitamin mineral mixes, which I told you earlier, and then rice flour is added. So when we are adding these vitamin mineral mixes, in that itself, there's an iron component in that. Okay. And there is a specific table, how much percentage of iron is there in that vitamin mineral mixes. So that's a standard which we get it. So in that mix itself, there are vendors. We ask them, we need about 10 grams, or even we might need for about 1 kg of milk powder. Sorry, 1 kg of ragi powder. We might need 5 grams of vitamins and minerals mixes. So they gave it to us, and this contains all the various, internally bifurcated iron, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, selenium, copper, zinc, etc. I can explain a bit more, but that becomes too technical for you.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
No, no problem. Yeah, I got it. But what you're saying is all derived from natural sources,
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
items, as much as possible, put it that way. So thank you, Anand. And now to the next question about the price part of it. If you can give us some light on to how much it costs per child, for instance, or per serving, or per month.
See, yeah, so for that reason, I just made one slide deck. Okay, just
Sure.
again explain the cost part of it. Um, See, this is exactly what I meant. So typically, if you're giving a milk powder and a nutrition mix, it costs about 8 to 10 rupees on an average. You can see it. A classical case is Karnataka, where the cost is about 8 rupees because the volumes are very high, and in
8
this
rupees per child.
per child, because and that too they do for 55 lakh children. Imagine if you do for only about 100,000 children or even lesser than that, the cost will be more because the more the number of children, the cost will come down. So 8 to 10 rupees is what I generally suggest. And in the case of Karnataka, fairly 80-85% is funded by government only. So we only put in another 15%. But if you look at Telangana, it's a classical clear case that the contribution from the government is 50% and another 50% comes from us. But the thing is, over here, there is no milk provision by the government. So this year we are going and telling them that if we are able to introduce milk, the child will probably have more, calcium into that part. Protein is also there as a part of the milk powder. But otherwise, at the current stance, so the cost stands at about roughly 3 rupees, with the 10 grams of ragi and 10 grams of jaggery. Similarly, the cost for Assam, which is another state we'll do, is it's also the same. In case of Puducherry, if you look at it again, government takes care of almost 80% of the cost. 8 rupees is the cost, and we only contribute 1 rupee to the provisioning of the micronutrient health mix. So these are four states where the volumes are very high. But otherwise, if you look at other states where we are doing our own pilots, which includes giving milk powder, health mix, and the sugar, our average cost is 10 rupees per child.
Now, in your chart, you showed 119 crores. So this
Mm.
is per year or per month?
This is per year. This is the cost you can see over here. Again, as I mentioned, right?
Yeah,
The day we do in case of Karnataka, we do for 180 days, which is all the 5 working days. Okay,
yeah,
and then Telangana we do 110 days because the other 3 days they're giving egg and chicky and all on their
sure,
own. Also the same case.
sure.
So
So
technically,
119 crore, sorry.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, for 119 crore is for the four states or it is the overall your expenditure?
No, no, this is for the four states, and then
Okay,
spend about another average 10 crores extra because the numbers are lesser comparatively for the other states because we do pilots only.
okay,
So on an average, 130 crores is the expected expense for us for this year.
okay. So that means per month, if we give $10, it can serve maybe five children a month.
And same is the case. If you like
Hmm.
$1 can feed 10 children.
Yeah.
Okay. $10 will feed the same 10 children for 10 days. Okay.
Right,
If
right.
you're
But depending upon number of, the days you have in the school and such. So on an average, for us, the reason I'm asking is that way we can give that number to the audience in USA and say that this is you give $10 or $15, whatever number you give, say per month, we can say that
Mm,
it will feed this many children with the
correct.
nutritional drink per month.
So basically, if you look that way, I generally take 20 days per month because I take
Sure,
all the 5 and then
sure.
4 weeks, 20 days. For 20 days, okay, if you're giving $10, all right, so then it will feed 50 children. So your $10 is feeding 50 children for 20 days. Okay. So you can look at it, $10 means about 10 into 100 rupees is 1,000 rupees. And then the cost is about divided by 10, which is about 1,000 by 10 is 100 children. And then 100 divided by, I'm taking only for 20, right?
Right. And that's 5 children, right?
5 children. Yes, yes.
5 children
I
per
can
month.
5 children per month. So I can once again summarize it to you. If you are
Yeah.
giving $10 to me per
Yeah.
month, you can say it will feed 5 children per month.
Correct. 5 children for 20 days. That is basically 100 servings, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was asking. Okay, good. Now, for the audience, I'll quickly share our Education for All website so that where someone want to contribute, they can contribute using um, the our website. So if you go to educationforall.org, there is a tab called Annapurna. So if you go here, the purely for Annapurna, we create this page. And by the way, Education for All is also supporting Annapurna, uh, the trust initiative of serving the nutritional uh, drinks to the children or breakfast to children, along with other things. So if you go to this page, at the bottom, you have an option to contribute. Now, using this contribute button, actually, in fact, you can contribute from anywhere in the world, not just USA. If you click here, it will take you to this Zephy, and here you can do one time or monthly and such. So, for instance, if you want to do $10, you can click $10 and then continue, and then it can, then you have an option to either use pay using Google Pay, or you can use credit card here, or you can do a US bank, however you want. If you use credit card, you can actually uh, contribute from anywhere in the world. That's how it is. And we also have other options here. You can use, if you're in USA, you can use through PayPal, or you can use Zelle here. But this is our info at educationforall.org. Using Zelle, someone can contribute. And then there's a company match if you want to do a larger donation, and you can use the company match and then contribute as well. You can pay by check, actually donate, contribute by check, or if you want to contribute using your bank transfer, you can do it directly to our bank as well. So several options are there. So this thought of highlighting, and here also it gives the additional details about the Annapurna, and also link to the main Annapurna initiative is also here. So if you click here, it will take you to the the main Annapurna org.in page. So here you have more details and all the things going on about Annapurna nutritional uh, details. And I just thought of sharing that. There's of course some numbers and all you will have to update, like 10 children versus 5 children and all this. We put 10 children right now. I think 10 children it will serve if it is just your giving the nutritional supplements without milk, like the $3, 3 rupees per child, or on average 5 rupees. That's how we took it. But yeah, so it all depends upon how you want to look at it. Just thought of sharing this one. So again, you go to educationforall.org and then click the Annapurna, and here you can contribute for this cause from anywhere in the world. Yeah, over to you again, you to Anand. So now the next question is about the children, how they like this drink. Do
Okay,
they?
so
Yeah.
see, if I don't want to say they like this drink and they're very happy with that. I would generally say that, for many children, especially in Assam, it's not a drink where the taste is a regular taste. Okay, for example, you're giving fortified ragi or a millet and then mixed with jaggery. The taste itself is something very different from the usual food they have. So initially, certain children may not feel like having the drink because it's not their locally available taste. But you add a bit of more sweetener to that and make it interesting for the child to drink it, and it becomes a habit and they like it. That's for Assam, I'm saying. But if you go back and see Puducherry or Telangana or Karnataka, it's by default they are ragi, a kind of the food is a mix of having ragi or rice into the daily food is any which was having ragi or rice onto it. So we don't see any challenge, and they like that drink as like any other drink. In fact, a lot of children are now drinking. They're coming for second serving and third serving also because they're liking the drink. especially for Karnataka, because with the milk powder which is already there with them, you add this, the taste becomes even more better, and that's helping the child to kind of improve on his eat drinking capacity. So second serving, third serving, children are teachers are saying that sir, the food is, I mean, the milk powder is getting exhausted. So it's kind of a good feedback from us. But at the same time, there are places where children are still not
Mm.
liking the drink. Then we try to see, okay, why don't we introduce milk powder? And in some places, they're not liking even with the milk powder, which means you need to change the whole composition. So we go back and change it from a millet based drink to a malt based drink, like your Horlicks, Bonvita, or Milo. So we try to introduce various ways to see to it that the child, ultimately, if the child doesn't like the drink, there's no point in doing so much of effort like this. So, but we try to do our best wherever possible to change the menus if they don't like it.
Okay. So yeah, that is the good point actually you brought it up. So I was initially thinking that they only get one glass of this morning nutrition drink. So looks like it's unlimited then.
Yeah, yeah, they can have it. They can have it as more, but generally 200 ml is good enough for them.
Yeah.
They're not have more than that. Okay, 200 or 250 ml is good enough.
So, the most important right now is when you look at the scale of this operation, like within a few years, you saw 2,000 kids, and the number is growing and it's in millions right now. You must be facing some really big challenges in terms of getting funding, the raw material to cook things, and also the logistics issue. So, your team, how did you decide that planning, and how did you come to realize that this scale is possible?
Actually, when we started this program, the only intent which made us go every day is the child's hunger. Okay, because imagine if you have children at home and they are not fed properly, I'm
Right.
sure the parent will definitely feel the pain.
Correct.
So when we started doing it, we thought, okay, it's just a normal practice of helping somebody. But if you
Hmm.
continuously do it for the same children for a month and 45 days to 2 months, naturally at the third month you feel that see, it's just not my children at home. I have some children who are in those villages, and every time I think of buying something for my own children, like pens or books or pencils, I start thinking about them also. Why can't I purchase something for them, because they're also our children? So what we do is we buy compass boxes, pencils, very small things, but it makes a lot of impact. So
Right.
when you have this intent to feed the children,
Hmm.
all these financing, logistics, all becomes secondary for you, because you got to
Okay.
keep your goal very clear. So, first you have that particular objective in place, then we found it's easier, because you have to pick up the phone and call people, and if you're doing good work, you definitely will get good people. And
Hmm.
I've seen it, when I say, hey, we want you to prepare chapati, or we want you to prepare upma, they're very happy, and many of my friends came forward to prepare it. And I used to go to their home, pick up the vessels which had the breakfast, and go to the village, serve them, take pictures of children eating, and then send it back to those people who prepared the breakfast, to tell them your day is being done, because your food, which has been prepared by you with all the love, is now consumed by the child. And they come back, very happy, and they say, thank you very much for giving an opportunity. And they used to wait for the next week, because they used to maintain we used to maintain a roster. We say every
Okay.
Tuesday is somebody else, every Wednesday is somebody else. So they used to wait for that roster to come.
Okay.
So answer your question very quick, in a very specific, simple manner. Intent is always, the objective is to feed the children. So everything else became like natural to us. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what?
Thanks, Anand.
Yeah, thank you, Rajiv. Now, see, what started as a relatively simple idea has now grown into more than 10 million children every school day. When did you realize that Annapurna could become a movement of this scale?
Hmm, very valid question. I think for me, the that first realization has happened when we touched about 100,000 children. This was in
Hmm.
2017. Then like any other, you know, typical NGO startup. You would like to prove yourself. You want to see that, you are able to make an impact. So when we did 100,000 children, then I realized that, it is something which is going beyond my professional capacity of balancing both my professional work and also the NGO work. So when it clocked about 100,000 children in 2017,
Yeah.
then I actually discussed this with my Guruji, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai Ji, that I would like to quit my job and do this full time. And he has agreed to that. So after that, in 2018, I quit from HP. I was working with HP at that time. And me and my wife moved out from Bangalore, settled in Chikbalapur, where we have our headquarters, and from here we started operating. And that one decision made a lot of impact, because from 100,000 children in 2017 to 10 million children now, like adding one more zero to it, is a more impactful program, which it could happen. And in another couple of years time we added one more zero. So from 100,000 children to 1 million children to 10 million children, all this happened after realizing that this program is having a big impact in the child's health, and of course not only for the child, even for me as a person. It's a lot of transformational story for me also, that and I'm able to contribute back to the society.
Wow, that is a big sacrifice, Anand, frankly. I think the whole family, and I think your family should be also supportive to you. Um, so leaving the whole your career in the corporate world and coming to fully on this service, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel I think this is a very rare opportunity to get a job like this. Okay, now you don't get this kind of jobs available outside. Uh, Trying to do something which is purpose driven and satisfaction to yourself. Every day is a new day for us. You don't start the day with the same mundane work. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a new expression of love. Every day is a new expression of even challenges, and how you respond back, how you talk to your staff members, what are the ways you can motivate them. And like having this call late night at about 11:30 over here, still we are charged up, because we are there for any kind of a challenge which is thrown at us. We have learned a lot of lessons in the process. So when we know what works out better for us and what doesn't work out, so we are taking it one day at a time. We work on a daily basis, plan properly, and execute those things. Of course, we will also have a strategy in place. What should be the next, for the next 3 months? What are we planning to do? But the final details, we work only one day at a time, and that's helping us in a large way.
Yeah, it is really incredible, Anand, and hope the other you have many other employees also probably in the similar boat of sacrificing their regular career life and then coming and serving here. Again, thank you for that. Um, Now coming to the other thing is there 40 employees you have, and how many volunteers you have in this organization?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, right,
Mm,
typically we have about 3 staff members. Then, apart from that, leaving aside the cooks who are individuals volunteers for us, or the teachers, we have about another 500 volunteers who are actually spread across various parts of India, who are invariably available for us at any short notice, and they will be available for just ensuring the supplies are coming on time. They don't kind of even look for any benefit out of it. They just do it purely out of love for the children, and that's actually helping us in a big way. Okay. In fact, I also would like to tell you that since you mentioned about the staff members who are there with us, many of them are from corporate world. Many of them
mm.
have, like me, left their jobs in corporate. Some are from Infosys, some are from Tesco, some are from Wipro, some of them are from a different vertical of chemical industries, etc. All of them came forward to be a part of this system. So that way, I feel the team which is behind the scenes, it works much more effectively, and they are the ones who are actually the people on the field executing things for us.
Okay. So now coming to the you have the volunteer base and you have the employees and you also have the support of the school and the government. Now, in addition to these children, right, other than the nutritional drink, Annapurna as a organization, is it helping in any other way to the children?
Yeah, of course, as I mentioned, right, as an
Mm,
organization, when we bring a lot of corporates to the schools, they see lot much is achieved because they come over there and they understand there is a lot of need for education and health support. So, in our own way, we identify children from these schools and we put in our own curriculum group of institutions. We have a separate vertical, as you know, Education for All is also a partner to that. Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam group of institutions where we have campuses across 21 districts of Karnataka. Many of the children who are beneficiaries of the nutrition program for Annapurna, they, after, seeing the way we have been kind of supporting them, some of the teachers come back and tell that, these children are very bright or these children require support. And we pick up those children from those rural hinterlands and put them in our institutions, curriculum group of institutions. That is one way where we are
mm.
adding value to this nutrition program. And second is we do health screening, right? Many of the children who are screened, sometimes we identify children are having some issues. It could be, something related to their eyesight or skin issue, or even for that matter, heart issue, because some of them don't even know there is some congenital heart disease kind of a problem. So we identify such problems. And even teachers themselves tell us, child is not well, he's having this problem. So we pick them and we put them in our hospitals and do the treatment. So a simple breakfast is just an excuse for us to introduce many other services which are waiting waiting to be offered to them on healthcare or education or livelihood creation. Now, a lot of parents who are kind of in the schools, the parents they come and tell if there's any job for us, please let us know. We would like to join your organization. So we are giving employment to them also. So one step at a time, a lot of impact is created.
Wow, that is really interesting and really astonishing, Anand. I think from what you described, I can also summarize that Sadguru Madhusudan Sai has around 26 to 28 campuses that provide free education and free food and shelter and everything. So that can serve only certain number of children. Whereas Annapurna, by providing morning nutrition to the children, it is like putting them back to school in their own village and such, right? Where and it helps them to focus on studies. It is a mass program versus the schools are there. That is the ones for the selective children who are really interested in getting that education, or the ones who are excelling in their studies and such. It will help them as well. And also what you're saying is that you're picking such students from the group of students who are served by Annapurna into back to the school and also providing them healthcare and such. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. Now I know it's getting late for you, but is there anything you want to tell us that we did not cover?
I have 3 points which maybe we
Sure.
could not cover, but I'll just quickly run through, a bit more about that part. What we are generally seen as, we are seen more as a nutrition program for the children, which is what we are up to. But as I mentioned, that we are only a catalyst in this whole program, which means we will go all out, going and meeting lot more government organizations, NGOs, corporates to start this program. And in the process, what we are trying to do is that, we are making this as a national movement. So, which is what we didn't cover. So, we are now going and even talking to central government. We are telling them that, breakfast is the most important meal of the day and it has to become a policy. Time has come that it has to become a policy and it has to be, facilitated in every school, because, we don't want to be seen as a country where there are many malnourished children. We don't want to have that kind of a statements coming in. imagine if you are able to give something to the child the moment he comes in the morning, is also one way going to improve his health. That is number one. The number two point, which I generally am very positive and pessimistic, optimistic towards this discussion is, the amount of health budgets which we are going to generally reduce is very high, because we are giving something in the morning. So naturally, the child will not feel hungry, and because we are adding micronutrients, his tendency to become sick or have any other kind of disease is generally lesser. So naturally, what happens? His visits to the government hospitals will come down. The moment the visits to the government hospitals come down, the dependency on medicines or facilities is going to come down. And naturally, the health budgets can also be reduced. So we are invariably uh, creating a lot of impact, which is helping to reduce the health budgets, especially for the next generation. And all this through a simple small intervention of micronutrient health mix, which is going to help the child. So that's the second point. And the third point, and the most important point, is if you look at the impact creation, right? People think about, okay, I'm giving $1. What will $1 do for a child? What exactly can $1 do, or even a 1 rupee do? So you see, you have to look from a different standpoint. You are investing onto the society, and there are a lot of independent agencies who rate us on based on the amount of money which has been which has been given as input. So if somebody gives me a 1 rupee as an input, I can convert it into 19 rupees as an output, because I'm able to give a health drink to the child, which invariably gives him good nutrition. Then I'm reducing the cost of health budgets, which is also invariably good for the country or the state or the city. And also at the same time, I'm also improving the total overall education capacity of the child, be it in his academic performance or in sports or anything for that matter. So we got ourselves rated by third parties, and they have given a score. It's called as social return over investment, and we are rated at 19.2, which means every 1 rupee which you invest in our organization, the outcome is going to be 19.2 rupees. And these are all measured approaches. It's not something which has been done by us. It has been done by an independent source, and they have given this rating to us. So since you were telling about the donations which can be accepted through education for all, every dollar a person gives, that is actually improving a child's nutrition and his overall composure by $19.2, which is what I would like to convey, Shivaram, which I don't think we have covered. And last but not least, in many places we are doing this health drink, but we have also realized that cookies and chickies are also way forward, because sometimes you have kitchens, but the kitchens are not operational, and there is no one who can actually make the kitchen work. So you need to give some ready to mix, ready to eat items. So that's why now we are introducing chickies and cookies also, which is like giving a 25-gram chicky, and then maybe they can probably eat that the moment they come to school, along with that one cookie also is given. So like that, we are trying to come with some new interventions which will probably help us to address the nutrition requirement early in the morning. So these are certain points which we didn't cover, and I thought maybe I should probably put this as a summary.
Sure, sure. Yeah, thank you. I think thank for the clarification. I think you're also trying to add additional things in addition to the drinks. Looks like how you said the chicky and the cookies and such. Yeah.
Yeah, Anand, do you have a slide of these latent benefits that you just described?
Yeah, yeah, it's there. In fact, that's what we could not, kind of, while I was speaking based on your questions, if you go back and see this slide, particularly the 19.2 SROI slide is there. And yeah, this one, this has been independently done by an organization, and
Hmm.
they gave the certificate of SROI as 19.2. That's why, again, these are all
Okay.
independently done. We don't do this. And then the other point which I told is about the chickies and cookies. While we interest, this is another slide. While we give the health drinks, we realize that we should give chickies and cookies, and this is another point.
Yeah.
And I think these 2 points are showcased in the slide text. Of course, these are all certifications which are required before we even start distributing it, which we generally go through as a process.
Shivram, will we get this slide deck?
I will share it
Yeah,
with you after
we
this.
can. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
perfect.
So now, Rajiv, do
Mm.
you have any questions?
No, I'm good. Yeah,
Okay,
you
good,
covered
good.
almost everything. Yeah.
Okay. So Anand, should we close then, or any other things you want to share, or?
No, nothing. Thanks, Shivram. Every conversation, every important thing, whatever has been shared, if we can circulate to larger audience and people like to know more about us, they can go to the website, or if they want to get more details, they can also reach out to me separately. We can definitely have a conversation with any prospective support member in this case. So once again,
Sure.
thanks, Shivram, for taking time and kind of giving an opportunity to converse with all of you so that the larger audience can listen to it later. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Anand, for your time. And also, I'll share your contact details as well, so that if larger organizations or state or countries want to reach, right? Is it
Yeah.
info at, what is
You
the,
can,
hmm,
my email ID is enough. I'm going to send my anand.kumar@annapoorna.org.in. I just not typed in on the chat. You can
sure,
use that and share it
sure.
with people. Write an email to
There's
me and I.
Sure, it's anand.kumar at annapurna.org.in. That's where you can be reached. Anyway, if you go to educationforall.org website and click on Annapurna, you have the link to go to the Annapurna main website as well. And Education for All is part of One World One Family Mission, and you can contribute via One World One Family Mission as well. Or there are many ways you can basically reach this beautiful cause. Now, we are coming to the close to this conversation. Thank you, Anand, so much for joining us today and for taking us through this incredible journey of Annapurna. I think we need to have more conversation to understand better. We'll probably have a webinar with the larger audience in the days to come. And what started with a simple idea that no child should have to begin the school day hungry has grown into a remarkable movement touching the lives of millions of children. And behind the numbers are millions of individual children who are getting the nourishment they need to learn, grow, and dream about their future. I think today's conversation also reminds us that meaningful change does not always begin with something complicated. Sometimes it begins with the one child, one meal, and one caring individual willing to make a difference. On behalf of Education for All and One World Family Mission, I want to thank Anand for sharing his time, his experience, and the inspiring story of Annapurna with us. And thank you, Rajiv, for joining and asking questions and the part of this team.
Right. It's very enlightening. Thanks, Anand.
Thanks, Shivram. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if today's conversation has inspired you, I encourage you to learn more about Annapurna and Education for All and see how you can be part of this journey. Please visit our website, educationforall.org, for more information, including Annapurna. Once again, thank you all for being with us. Let us work together to ensure that every child has the opportunity to learn, grow, and build a brighter future. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Rajiv.